Alright, good evening again. I come here again. In today's video, we are going to be doing some solving these three examples in quadratic equation. But before we go, there is something I did not remember to talk about: the discriminants. Actually, remember that the discriminant is minus b squared minus 4ac, where b is the coefficient of this b is the coefficient of the variable. For example, ax squared plus bx plus c. This b now is the coefficient of this variable now, and a is the coefficient of this variable, and c is this constant that is here. Not this, it's this. So, and this discriminant that is here, when it is equal to 0, there are some times it can be equal to 0. There are some times it can be greater than 0. There are some times it can be less than what? 0. When it is less than 0, when the discriminant, after solving this and you get that it is less than 0, simply you conclude no solution. When it is greater than 0, you now say that is the solution exists. This sign here means there exists what? A solution, but they are distinct. Here, there exists a solution that is equal. So if the discriminant equals 0, know that the solution really does exist and they are equal. But if it is greater than 0, the solution really exists but they are distinct. If it is less than 0, the solution does not exist. So now these discriminants now are going to help us while solving our examples. So number 1, I write the discriminant here. Please, I will be using this, but the discriminant is b squared minus 4ac. But I will be using this. So now the first question says x squared plus 4x plus 16 equal to 0. So we'll check if it can be factorized using the discriminant. Now b squared is what? 16. This is 16 minus 4ac, 4, 1, 16. Now 16 minus 60, what is it going to be? Minus 64. This is going to give us what? Negative 52. It's going to give us negative 52. So, without wasting much of our time, we can actually solve this. If we solve this now using let's try to solve it using completing the square method, which is x plus b over 2a raised to the power 2 plus c minus b over 2a raised to the power 2 equal to 0. We now see that x plus b is what? 4 over 2, 1 raised to the power 2 plus our c is what? 16 minus our b is what? B is what? B is 4 over 2, 1 raised to the power 2 is equal to 0. And we have here is what? X plus what? 4 over 2, let's just call it 2 raised to the power 2 plus this is 16 minus what? This is 2 raised to the power 2 is equal to 0. So what we have here is x plus 2 raised to the power 2 plus what? 16 minus 4 to be equal to 0. We have here now x plus 2 raised to the power 2 plus what? 2f is equal to 0. We can actually do x plus 2 squared is equal to negative what? 12. We now say x plus 2 is equal to the square root of negative 12, which does not exist. That would now, the reason why I solved this up to this very moment is to show you that when the discriminant is less than 0, when this one is less than 0, the solution does not exist, because on a real line, you cannot get the square root of a negative number. And taking the square root of this, if I'm using this discriminant, negative 52, it is also wrong because you cannot get the square root of what? A negative number. So I solve this now to show you that anytime you get your discriminant to be equal to, is to be less than 0, just conclude that there's no solution. So that is that. We'll go over to the next one, number 2. Number 2 says 4x squared plus 3x plus 1 equal to 0. So we now check using the discriminant again. B squared is 9 minus what? Of 4ac. Now 9 minus 16 to give you what? Minus 7. Now we still get the square root of minus 7. Let us check something. We use completing the square again. Or let's use the mighty method here. Minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. And our b is what? Minus what? 3 plus or minus the square root of b squared is 9 minus 4ac is 16. 16 all over what? 2a is equal to x. Now x is equal to minus 3 plus or minus. Now this is square root of negative what? Negative 7 all over 2a all over 2 into 4. Now x is equal to minus 3 plus or minus negative 7 all over 8. And you cannot get the square root of negative 7. This on a real line, so it is very wrong. It is very wrong. So anytime we solve the discriminant and we get a number less than 0, it is not going to have a solution. So far so good. We have solved the two of them and we arrive at no solution. Let's take number 3. And as the last here, I have x raised to the power 2 plus 3x minus 10 equal to 0. Let's solve it using the discriminant. We have what? 9 minus 4ac. And our c is minus 10. A is 1. So we have 9 minus 40 is equal to what? Minus 49. So it actually does have what? This, sorry, it's not minus 49. This is what? 9 plus 40 to give you what? 49. So the discriminant here is greater than 0. And I want you to check using this one again. It has what? A perfect square to be 7. So meaning that this equation here can, this equation really does have a root. It has a solution and it also can be factorized. So now let us write out the factors of what? 10. We have what? 1 times 10 to give us 10. I'm going to do primary school one now. Now 2 times 5 to give us 10. We have minus 1 times 10 to give us minus 10. 1 times minus 10 to give us minus 10. Okay, minus 10. Minus 2. 2 times minus 5 to give us minus what? 10. So which of them are we going to add to give us this? If we do this one, we're going to have what? If we add this, we're going to have minus 3. If we add this, we're going to have 3. We're going to have what? 9. How this, we're going to have minus 9. So what we're going to use is this one. Minus 2 times what? 5. So I'll put it here that x is equal to 2 plus 5 minus 2 minus 10 is equal to, sorry, this is x raised to the power 2 plus 5x minus 2x minus 10 is equal to 0. So now this is going to give me, I'll factor out x plus 5. Here I'll factor out minus 2. It's going to give me x plus 5 again equal to 0. So this means that x minus 2 x plus what? 5 is equal to 0. So mean that this one can be equal to 0 or this one can be equal to 0. So now to make this one 0, mean that x minus 2 is equal to 0 or x plus 5 is equal to 0. So I'll now say that x is equal to 2 or x is equal to what? Negative 5. So having done this now, let us solve it now using formula method. I will say x is equal to what? Minus b plus or minus the square root of 4b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So I will now say that now x is equal to, what is our b? Our b is 3. Now minus b is going to be minus 3 plus or minus the square root of b squared is 9 minus 4ac is 40. Yes, minus 40 all over what? 2a, and our a is 1. So now this is going to be x is equal to, now this is negative 3 plus or minus 7, because 9 minus 40 is 9 plus 40, right? Yes, 9 plus 40 is going to be 49. The square root of 49 is going to be 7 all over what? 2. So now x is equal to minus 3 plus 7 over 2, or minus 3 minus 7 all over 2. So if x is equal to this, it means minus 3 plus is 4 over 2 or minus 10 over 2. So now this is going to be 2 or negative 5. So now let's use completing the square method. Completing the square, I'm going to clean this question now. Completing the square method, I will now say x plus b over 2a with power 2 plus c minus b over 2a with power 2 is equal to 0. So x plus b is 3 over 2, a is 1, or is power 2 plus our c is negative 10 minus 3 over 2 raised to power 2 is equal to 0. So I'm going to have x plus 3 over 2 plus this is 9 over 4. Okay, I would say minus 10 minus 9 over 4 is equal to what? Is equal to 0. So I now have x plus 3 over 2 minus, this is 40 minus 9 over 4 to be equal to 0. So now this is going to be x plus 3 over 2 plus minus 49 over what? 4 equal to 0. So x plus 3 over 2 all squared is equal to what? It's now equal to 49 over 4. So x now is equal to what? The square root x plus 3 over 2. This implies that x plus 3 over 2 is equal to the square root of 49 over 4 to give us 7 over 2. Meaning that x is equal to 3 over 2 plus or minus 7 over 2. Right? So meaning that x is now equal to 3 over 2 plus 7 over 2, or 3 over 2 minus 7 over 2. This implies that s can be equal to 10 over 2 or 4 over 2. This implies that x is equal to 5 or x is equal to 2. So whichever method we use, we are going to arrive at the same answer, and I believe you enjoyed this video. Do well to like, subscribe, and share. I'm Untitled Chapter. Have a nice day. Come back for my next video. Thank you.